Bodgery, or as we may know it better as desert engineering. What is wrong with a bodge job? Well, if you consider that you could have the proper parts for the proper job, that's what's wrong with it, isn't it? But what if you haven't got proper parts? And what is wrong with improvising and figuring these things out for yourself? Well, maybe bodgery is actually quite a clever way of doing things. Thank you. Hello and welcome to another rather desperately problematic day down here at PNHQ. That's Project Nigel Headquarters, in case you didn't know. Today's problem and general pain in the bottom is related to compressed air, or at least making compressed air, which is quite useful in a workshop of some kind. Just down here on the leafy floor is my compressor. I've taken the cover off of there to see whether there's anything obvious to... Well, actually, perhaps I should explain. Well, it stopped working. I mean, the motor's running, the electric's going in there, but the pressure isn't going up. That's as far as it goes. That's not enough to pump a tyre up or to do anything, really. Plug it in. And it's on. But there's no pressure being built up. It's just remaining there. Yep, not going up.
I wasn't really sure how long to leave this going for, really, for demonstration purposes, but probably a little bit too long.
Now, because I don't really know how that exactly works, there's some sort of witchcraft going on in there. Yeah? No. I've got an idea. And as I see it, what's there to lose in taking it apart? I may as well do and see if there's just something that's come adrift. Hello, Dave. And so, without taking any advice from anyone at all, I'm just going to start taking bits off. There we go. Will it work now? No. Well, I think that was worthwhile doing because this reed valve is clearly broken and that's stopping the thing from working. And I know that because I asked the man next door. This might be the very last trip I have out in this particular car. Shaggy. The Audi A6 C5 2.4 litre Quattro Avant. Yeah, because there's very little petrol in it. I'm not going to buy any more, and I'm expecting somebody to buy it very soon. Not that I've got anybody lined up, but I just don't understand why they haven't done. Because it's cheap. Because it's cheap, that's it. Cheap. Anyway, a little trip into a town called Rochdale, where I might be able to get the item that I need for my compressor. As soon as I took this bit of air compressor round, boss mechanic there, he said air compressor and then just said something about air compressor reeds. Yeah, reed valve. That's reed as in, you know, like the plant, not reading a book. Yeah, and I said, oh, isn't it a pity there's not like a shop around that does air compressor components and spares? And he said, oh, well, there is actually. So that's where I'm going to go. And hopefully I'll get this little piece of metal that you can't really weld up because it's the wrong kind of metal for welding, and fit it. It looks like the kind of thing you could probably fabricate out of a can of pop. I'd like to try that actually, just to see whether that works. That's what I'm going to do. If I can't find this piece of metal, I'm just going to see if I can fabricate something from a piece of metal that won't work because it has the wrong... I mean, obviously, steel or aluminium is just a bit too soft, but it won't stop me from trying. Unusual for me, I parked on the wrong side of the road. But at least I haven't got my lights on. Well, I'm back in the car with the same small piece of metal still. Well, just there, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. That's not helped at all. Probably rather naive of me to think that I could go into a shop and just buy that part. Or is it? No, not really. It's just a piece of metal. Stainless steel, I guess, and it just serves a purpose. And somehow it's broken. But apparently, what I need to do is go back in there with the model, serial number, all this kind of stuff, just to get the right thing. Because there's hundreds of them. But it's just a piece of metal. It's just a piece of metal. Why I don't understand this way of doing things these days where everything has to be done off a number rather than looking at what it actually is. Bit disappointed. There was a time where Britain was industrious and we used to just make shit. These days we just have to have an order number and then go and pay through the nose for something that's just a tiny thing. I don't really understand. Why have we gone this way? Anyway, I'm not going to give up. Obviously, I said I'll just try and make it. Whether that will work or not, we'll find out, won't we? And another squeal. Yeah. It may work. It may not work. That looks like a monkey with a big moustache. If there's one thing that I'm not utterly terrible at, it is making little bits of metal to go into holes. So, will it work?
And now another rather exciting moment where I'm putting something back together and couldn't decide how long I should be filming for.
It's time for the moment of truth. I'm not hopeful, but what harm will it do by me just trying this? None. So, let's give it a go. Ready, and... it's going up a lot further than it was before. I think I'll call that fixed. Oh yes. Thank you ever so much for watching my video today about what I've done today, which, as you know, is fix my compressor. There's nothing quite as satisfying as doing a fix, and there's nothing quite as satisfying as making a video about doing a fix and people liking it. I'm not going to tell you to press the like button, but I will ask you not to press the dislike button, because that's just plain rude. Thank you to my channel members, thank you to my subscriber divers, thank you for anyone who's watched this video all the way through to get to this part, and thank you for anyone who watches the next video. Thank you for anyone who watches more, and thank you for commenting. Just thanks all round, basically.
And although I thanked you for watching this video within the video, I'm now going to thank you again at the end of this video, which is right now. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I certainly enjoyed making them for you. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.